Are you playing the Trist here, or for what we
Yeah,
said
I was already
before?
thinking. I was thinking that.
Like
I
only
think
with
so.
IE?
Uh, I feel like I could still see playing it here. It's either your backline here. It's either Maddie or Trish, regardless. Because you're enforcer. I'm okay with playing Trist here. I think it's fine because you could still hit an augment for it or an item, something that makes you want to play it. So
Okay.
I probably would. I mean, there's a small chance it costs you an econ interval, but I think I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't think it's also like super wrong to not play it. I think both ways are fine. You have to hold the Lux pair. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to sell the Violet and Powder here. Interesting. Ooh.
Is category 5 really good on just
I don't think so. I remember seeing someone in Macau take this. I think it was final lobby, and someone took this and just went straight
okay.
A. Tristana category 5, like basically it's almost this exact spot. I think they had double Runans, and then the few people I was sitting with were like, I don't like this play. This is kind of weird. Like, Runans isn't even good with Trist. Doesn't help her last hit.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, you do have a Tristana pair, so like maybe you could angle it and then pivot it into like Corky or something. But okay, it's possible that I'm overlooking how reasonable this line is, but for me, it's like it's just something I haven't tested out enough that and haven't seen do well enough that I just wouldn't believe it.
Okay. But otherwise, like none of these look really good.
I mean, I'm a Violet hard forcer, right? So not today looks good to me, but at the same time, like I would scout a lot more. It looked like
Yeah,
a bunch
it
of
looked like there were like 3 people holding like Violet pair
yeah.
or Violet 2
I would
already.
definitely just I would roll middle and see, and then potentially roll left as well. Um, Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can never really go wrong with Forge. Oh, this looks just like a Nocturne game.
Yeah. Yeah, there are like a million Violets.
Yeah, I saw. Even if no one is playing Violet, makes your stage 2 shops kind of fun. I don't mind the level here as well. I think that's fine. Mm,
Like item wise, I didn't realize this until after I was looking at the stats. I want IE and DB, right?
yeah,
Right.
you just want a bunch of damage items,
Yeah.
basically. Um, you could probably also get away with Last Wisp, I assume, but like, just depends how you want to play this early game. Um,
Okay. And I assume you don't make 10 at 2-1, right? Because I have a chance to streak if I can hit.
don't make 10.
Like, because I would have had
Yeah,
to sell
I
Maddie
think so.
pair or
Yeah,
Tris pair.
I like holding the both of these. I'm
Okay.
not sure if Tristana is stronger than Maddie because your Maddie will give your
Enforcer.
2-star a shield.
Maddie would give my 2-star a shield.
It will give your 2-star step a shield, right? I think wasn't Enforcer give you star to fight shield? I think it does,
Oh.
right? I think.
Oh, right. Uh, 12% HP shield.
Yeah, you get like a non-trivial shield on your main tank.
Okay.
Now I'm pretty sure it's strong. It would be Maddie Zeri.
I see.
Maddie Zeri and then Rennie. Pretty sure. You'd have to either also if you're gonna play Trist, it's Ergon, right? Over
Yeah,
set.
I think I want to make 20. It's maybe why. So winning the fight's more important because I try to contest streak.
Yeah, if you're already like I mean not necessarily like some cost. Oh, I actually don't also like selling all of them. Like just because I lost, I don't know. I feel like you're still kind of I guess to be fair, if you're super hard committed Nocturne, which we are, okay, actually it's fine. I changed my mind. You're super hard committed Nocturne such that like, yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I was on the fence on that.
Yeah, no, I think just thinking about it a little more deeply, it makes sense to sell at that point.
Okay.
Once you've lost, I'm pretty sure you have to take this. Yeah.
And then
I'm
I'm
also
slamming.
isn't Runan's good enough?
Really?
It depends. I feel like I'm fine also not slamming anything here
Oh,
because you already lost your streak and like by not slamming you allow yourself to make like really good items. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm a little more in favor of not slamming. To be fair, I would want to look at the items more on the stats just to be sure. Like if I am making like here, you would be making probably Runans is probably like the best item for your item economy if you really wanted to slam something.
Right.
Let me look. I'm just not sure. I haven't played this line enough to know if Runans is like
So if
actually.
you're in game, like, how are you just like looking it up the stats on the
Oh, I
fly?
look it up. I look it up. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so you don't have this stuff memorized.
Only because I haven't played this line all that much. That's the main reason.
Okay.
For like Violet, for example, like I could tell you based on the artifact what items are going to be good in that. But that's because I played a fuck ton of Violet. I
Okay.
haven't played as much.
Yeah, it looks like DB and Giant Slayer and IE are like standouts.
When you
Ifs
have
with RFC.
where does Runets not show up? Let me look because I feel like I would
Oh wait,
expect
never
it to
mind.
be
I don't have RFC filter.
RF. Runets is not showing up at all. No one's making this item, weirdly enough. Let me just put a lower rank filter just to see. Runets
Oh, Runans
is
is actually okay.
yeah. I would expect it to be fine. It's just generic DPS. And then here do you have like good stuff. I would expect it to be fine.
Yeah, and yeah,
So like if
Runans
you really
is
wanted to slam, go
yeah.
on.
Runans is also just generally good on high attack speed units, right? Which that's what Quick Striker is.
Yeah, yeah, you're just blocking the bolts a lot. But like, I'm a little more in favor of just not slamming because you already lost streak.
I mean,
You have the potential to be really strong stage. The way you're really strong stage 3 is 3 item nocturne, right? And by making nothing, you give yourself the highest chance of 3 items.
right. So ideally, I want IE, like GS, like 2 swords basically, then to use the bow and glove.
I would think just literally any 2 DPS items are fine in this spot. So like Last Whisper IE, GS IE, DV, any combination of those items, in my opinion, would be fine going into stage 3. And then if you really wanted to like optimize more specifically, you do it as the game goes on.
Okay.
Like you move the GS or the Last Whisper to another unit like a Mesa, and then you gradually make yourself, the truly optimized version. But the way I've been playing these more rerolly lines, where you really truly want to spike on stage 3, is you just have 3 items.
Right.
So like I will make like Gunblade Violet, whatever, Rageblade Violet that goes onto Draven, whatever. And as long as it's just 3 items, you do 3 items on upgraded board, you clear everyone at stage 3, typically.
Okay.
And so the only way you don't truly spike is if you make, let's say you make Runans here and then you drop. Actually, it's hard to fathom not having 3 items. Let's say you make Last Whisper here. That's probably the best way to end up screwed without 3 items.
I did not know the item
Is
stats at all. So I was just like,
QSS? Oh, I would assume QSS is not good.
yeah,
And
I
like
think
not
that's
that
right.
because you're just like true.
I'm
I mean, you
already
can still fix
ranged.
this.
Yeah.
You can still fix this by putting this on Ambassa later on. So it's not
Yeah.
like the game is lost. But I would expect. Yeah, I would I would really suggest like looking through the stats like as the game as you're playing.
Okay.
If you don't know, because you just I hear intuitively, I would just think that you already have enough AS, right?
Right.
Like RFC is so much AS such that you want to multiply with other stuff,
Mhm.
some sort of AD crit. Let me look. I assume the stats will say that as well. The stats tend to like QSS just in general.
Yeah, delta's
It,
positive.
it doesn't like it very much, yeah, with arms, which makes sense. You're just too much. You're invested too much into AS. But yeah, it's not like unsalvageable. Um, hmm.
I got a bunch of swords, but I killed my glove.
Yeah, it's so like okay. Let's say we didn't slam Q. What did the QSS really do for us? Like if we go back to the fights where you had QSS, what even really happened? Let's say you didn't have QSS in those fights. What would have happened? So you slammed it here, slammed it here, 2-5. Let's just yeah, you slammed it here. What happened? Look what happened in this fight. You're already losing. Yeah, let's just like see how the fight ends and imagine what would have happened. You probably don't kill this. You almost certainly don't kill the blitz. You don't kill the looks. So you're minus 2 HP. Okay, and then so minus 2 HP, and then do you agree with that? You probably
Yeah.
kill the Immobile, don't kill the blitz. Okay. And then
Yeah.
here,
And actually, if I
you
had slammed Runons, it might have won the last fight.
yeah, I can see that. And then here, you probably let's see what happens. Same thing. Sorry, the same thing happens. You probably kill one and then nothing, and then you don't kill anything.
Yeah.
I assume you still kill the first unit with just RFC. So you're basically by slamming, you save yourself 2 HP, but then now you're stuck with the QSS. And let's see what you could now make here if you did not have QSS. Yes, you have cloak, glove, bow. Can you pause here? Okay. Cloak, glove, in addition to all these items. Cloak.
It'd be IEGS.
Yeah, you'd have IEGS even round. That sounds so good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then I feel like now the 2 HP you saved, you would save it back and more on stage 3 by being stronger.
Yeah, and it would have actually gave me valuable tank items because right now I'm way over indexed on like carry items.
Yeah, you have too many backline. This is one thing that has really improved my violence for it as well. Once your streak is gone, like when you're streaking, even when you're streaking, it's still possible that not slamming items is your best play because your whole goal is to be strong stage 3 in these real boards. That's when the base HP, base stage damage increases. You're just truly meant to spike on stage 3 because you fall off a bit, like late stage 4, early stage 5. At least with one cost reroll. But just the little HP you save when you're playing for this style of tempo with reroll is usually not worth it when your itemization is really important. Like, I think in 4-cost lines, you can get away with slamming more, and in fact, it's usually to your benefit to slam more because you can slot in different units with your 8th slot, right, at level 8, to like sort of circumvent whatever limitations you have with your item slam. Like you overslam some backline items, like sure you can jam in a few more frontline units, like maybe in the Heimer core keyboard, right? Or you end up with too many like tank items, so you can try to fit in more backline units. With a reroll board, you don't really have the slots to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it so your itemization is way more important, such that I'm usually willing to sack 1, 2, 3, 4 HP on stage 2. It just changes, yeah, in terms of like when you're willing to slam more, depending on the line you're playing.
Okay. So here it's basically DB Rage Blade and like save the belt to hopefully make a tank item at some point.
This is hard now, right? I don't think I make Rage Blade here. I'm pretty sure the stats again don't like it, just for the same reason that the QSS is not good. It's just it's I think it's okay in the stats, and it's not from what I remember looking at this a while back, but it's just not. It's also positive delta. It's like a little better than QSS.
Oh, I was thinking Rage Blade would go on Kog'Maw.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, Could probably do that. Like, and then belt for
like a
frontline item.
Warmog or Redemption or something.
Yeah.
Because I want to make, hopefully, off of this carousel, I want another tank item, which means
Yeah,
that
there's
the bow and
definitely
rod aren't going to do any. If I don't make the Rage Blade, I'm just like sitting on dead components until like 4-1.
yeah, for sure. Mm,
Because I guess you could save the
resisting.
rod for like Crown Guard or, and then bow for like, or I guess you could save them for anti heal,
Yeah,
like
you're also
Last
kind of lacking
Whisper.
on then. So I definitely roll right here. I'm not sure yet between left two which one's better. But I definitely
Yeah,
roll right.
not that.
What's your decision making here? I feel like the teaming up, the sixth goal is not nearly as valuable as it typically is because it's a scuttle puddle, but you will benefit from the item. Like you're kind of in a spot where you don't even want to slam anything, and this will kind of help alleviate that.
Mm-hmm.
Middle, like your units don't have any amp, so I could see it being good as well.
Yeah. I I think I leaned away from middle because I didn't want to move Nocturne to back row and walk up. Uh, but I guess maybe I'm just overvaluing like that time lost.
You do lose a little bit of time. I don't think it's that relevant. I would think the more relevant thing in my mind is beginning combat at 80% kind of sucks because
Yeah,
you're 4 automata. You have a lot of EHP.
yeah. If I
So
had Gunblade, like maybe that'd be different.
I
Like
can see that. Yeah.
Gunblade on like Kog'Maw at some point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Although I feel like I've thought about this as well, but like it's sort of a fallacy that Gunblade makes Blast kind of that much better because you're gonna lose the healing on your front anyway. Like
mm-hmm.
unless you assume that your opponents do such little damage and you heal and then start healing your front line, I feel like Gunblade doesn't truly alleviate the drawbacks of Blast.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I would lean towards rolling middle as well.
Unless you have like Omnivamp, so like health is wealth already picked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Then it's very different because then your units are healing themselves as
Yeah,
opposed to opportunity cost of healing from them.
right. Speaking of, um, so right now I'm leaning towards health is wealth. It's like want combat, team combat, especially with reroll. Like ideally, I could hit all of my units and have two combat augments.
How good is Omnivamp even though in this comp? Like I feel like this comp is just isn't it? Typically you're playing 4 automata. I mean, okay, I guess it's good when you have Ambessa and Nocturne online, but I would actually say the opposite. When you're rerolling, you actually value items more than global combat.
Mm,
Because typically what happens in reroll, I mean, like maybe Scuttle Puddle muddies the waters a little bit, but typically in reroll, you have so many base stats in your units, and typically what you're missing is items. Whereas in like a fast 8 line, typically you only have like 2 units really worth items, right? 2 or 3, and then a bunch of trade bots. Like the more units you 3-star, the more units you really want to itemize. If that makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I and then with RFC as well, like Omnivamp also becomes like a lot less. Like Omnivamp is good on who? It's just isn't it just? I would think it's just Ambessa and Akali, and then we're not gonna get itemized until way later. I mean, the 8 gold is nice, but like it's not that useful. Then again, I could see rolling left just to see a better option. Like left and middle maybe are both kind of mid, so I can see because one component also doesn't truly like help your spot. Now
Yeah.
it's definitely middle.
Also, I couldn't tell if health is wealth is bugged. Because it fucking took me forever to like cash that out. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll
bug in
see.
terms of like
Yeah, I think it's
the
calculating it wrong. My
Oh.
Nocturne was dealing a bunch of damage, and then I was not cashing it out until really late. But
Oh, it's possible that Omnivamp only counts when you actually heal. And because your Nocturne doesn't take any damage, it's not actually counting the healing. And if I'm not mistaken,
oh,
yeah. I think you have to actually heal damage that you
missing HP.
receive.
I see. Okay, then that's really bad here. Okay.
Yeah. You'd have to like first draw your Nocturne to really poke it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, well, did not know that. Uh,
It shouldn't be like that big a concern because you're rarely gonna be like that poor unless you super lowly roll down here. Yeah, and then you also get a bunch of gold back on PvE anyway because it's Scarlet Puddle.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Okay. And then I assume I should just roll until I find at least knock two.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're so many pairs. Yeah, I'm fine stopping here. Anything stopping here is pretty good. You don't even mind losing a few more. Now that you won, I feel like I would consider rolling for like 40 every turn.
To rolling to
Yeah,
40 to hit like a Kali 2 and hopefully Kog'Maw or
because
Blitz.
you're three. Because usually you're three pairs, right? You're
Oh,
three
I
pairs.
see. Yeah.
You're three pairs, so it's so easy to strengthen your board here. I feel like if you lose here, then you're back to win loss, and it's just your spot becomes more and more mid without any streak.
Right. But I don't know if that would have been this guy anyway.
If you had three, if you had all upgrades, there's a
Oh,
chance.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you'd have to roll pretty easy.
So when you say roll to 40, you're rolling to like 43 so that you have enough gold for the Blitz if you want to buy it. Or I guess you could roll to 42 and like be at 20 or 39 gold.
I think that would be probably the best way. Like, but yeah, I would just expect like rolling around 10ish gold. You're expected to find one of these, right?
Yeah.
Usually. Like, and I'm willing to part with one gold to upgrade these. But yeah, usually rolling to 43, I think, is like the
Okay.
reasonable way to do it. So you don't lose the two, and then you go back to 50 immediately.
Right. I have an open belt. I think it's either Warmogs or I guess it could be Even Shroud too.
Yeah,
Warmogs,
that is fine.
Sunfire, or Even Shroud.
Yeah, I think any of those are fine. I would lean. Many people are playing Sentinels nowadays, and so I feel like lacking Shred is more painful than it usually is. Like the current meta has a lot of Sentinel players, and so I feel like you kind of I would value even try, especially because it's on a three coster versus a lower cost for the other items.
Okay.
Also, I would value Warmogs more if you were. I guess you do have a Rage Blade, but like your main carry is not really a ramping carry, right? It's just like I feel like the times where I'm more down for this, like foregoing anti heal even shroud, or is more so when I have like a real my main carry is like a ramping, like a Cogma, or maybe
When you're
some
main, can you say that again?
when my main carry is a ramping carry, ramping
I
like
see. Okay.
yeah, you scale over a fight. Like the more scaly your units are, the less I care about shred, the more I care about frontline. And like where Warmogs is way more frontline item than even Shroud or Sunfire.
Okay. So because Nocturne doesn't scale, I want the fight to be over faster. Like I want to be more bursty, which means I want don't want the like traditional tank items as much.
I think so. Yeah, I would value even Shroud more here. I think
Okay. Because I was partially also thinking that with Automata, it's like
a lot of your damage is magic as well.
what was that?
A lot of your damage is magic. Is the only thing.
Partly that, and then Automata also just has a lot of armor magic resist, so the HP value like is
Is really good.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how much of your damage is AD versus magic. I assume it's still like a really large percentage AD, like Nocturne specifically. I guess your whole team damage is yeah, it's like all. It's not even all. It's like
Probably like
Actually, it's
70%
far
AD.
it's far from all. It's about 70. So actually, mm, okay, I think it's not as big a gap as I'm making it out to be. I think Warmoff is fine looking at these numbers.
Okay.
70% AD.
Yeah. Also, I realized over the course of playing this game, because this is the first time I played Range Nocturne, is like if Nocturne can get that first kill without walking up, it actually makes such a big difference.
Oh yeah, and then he just starts adding range.
Yeah. And so like killing a really soft unit first makes such a big difference.
Oh, the matchmaking here is kind of rough. Win loss, win loss.
Yeah, like the Nocturne just scooting up there is so bad.
Mm. I was just thinking in terms of if you had better items. I don't think any items would change that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm also in a lot of these situations where I'm not sure how to approach the decision making of like when to go all in versus just kind of like slow rolling.
So yeah, I feel like a lot of it hinges around your like what placement you estimate you're playing for. Um, yeah, I think double blitz here is you already have a lot of frontline, but I assume this is better because I think the jump from 2 to 3 quick striker is just not that big.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, my logic for me for deciding like when to all in versus not is one how like what are the odds of you actually hitting given um your number of copies and how much gold you have, and then what placement are you really playing for? And the higher the placement, the more obviously you greed. The lower the placement, the more you send, and then the same thing. Obviously, you send more if you're closer to hitting. Um, hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
A lot of these look
A lot of these look what?
look good. These options look good.
Yeah.
I can't tell which one to take.
Like
Hmm.
long distance power with automata like seems pretty decent. Did you even do it on
It sounds.
knock and blitz?
I don't know what Blitz's base AD is. The one thing I feel like
Uh
a lot of the power budget of this is in the AD and AP, and I would say your Nocturne at the moment kind of lacks some DP
right. So then you'd
because
want
of
it
your
with
tier.
Mbessa later if you did play it.
Yeah, and because you don't have that many items, I feel like LDP out of the three is probably the least useful in my mind.
Okay. I have not taken Noble Sacrifice once this set. Uh,
This one looks good to me with this comp just because you have so much resistance, such that you. Then again, it's like you can go both ways. You can say you already have a lot of resistance, so more is not as useful. But you can also argue that you get a lot out of it because I would say it's actually pretty good because if you plan to 3-star your units, they have they have a high base HP, right? So like more resistance is not even is probably good. It's
are
not like you have
you
6 autonomies. You don't have infinite
right?
armor.
Would you be because what is it? 4 automata would be 60 armor magic resist, which is 31. Would you just sack like the Mumu? Or are
Mm,
you trying to
it,
give the blitz value to the rest of your team once blitz dies?
I would think you just let the blitz you just tank normally and then your whole team gets a lot. But you also get a lot more resistance because I assume you get like the resistance from the stone plate as well. But
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. But I would just position normally. When I take these items, just position normally. I don't like really suck to have my main tank.
Okay. But out of
But yeah, I
these
probably
three, I
want
would
to.
yeah lean Spark Epitaph.
Yeah, Epitaph is always too good. I think.
I think I took Clockwork because I thought that I would be going for a Blitz 3 because I'm pretty close. Um, so then I could have more scaling AS over the course of the fight. So then it does become scaling like backline carry as opposed to, especially since I have three reasonable tank items. Plus automata like
I think
is has a lot of
Clockwork is
resistances.
I don't think Clockwork is wrong here as well because there's also potential argument or epitaph like when your blitz dies, you're already close to losing the fight, which I don't think is necessarily true, but it's like an argument you can make. Um, so yeah, I don't think Clockwork is wrong here. The other thing you could say is you already have a lot of AS, but I mean ramping AS is different from just having AS.
Yeah.
It is kind of decent. Isn't Collector also pretty good here, by the way? Item Collector? You have how many items? You have um hmm. Yeah, isn't Collector actually good?
How are you like kind of determining the break point or the break even point when it's quote good versus like mid versus not good? Like how many items?
Oh, I tend to think about Collector. So there are a couple ways of thinking about it. One is comparing it to something like Scoreboard Scrapper, because you know we know Scoreboard Scrapper is very good into the stats it gives. If I'm not mistaken, every item stack is one Scrapper stack. I think they're equivalent. Let me double check that. That's one way of doing it. Um, let me check for sure. Augments, um, collector for gold. So gold is base 20 HP, and then every item is 5 health, 1.5, 1.5 AD and AP, and Scrapper is exactly 1.5, 1.5 per round as well. So in terms of the um, AD and AP, it is 1 to 1. One item is one round of stack. So here we're saying that you stack Scoreboard Scrapper for 7 rounds, which is like not not and you also don't get the you get some flat HP, right? So like you don't get the plus 10% HP that Scrapper gives you when you're back in the top 4. But like to me that sounds reasonably good. It's Scuttle Puddle. You have 7 stacks of Scoreboard Scrapper as if you had lost streak until 3-2. Um, yeah, it's just a question of like, does your team like the stack? Does your cog like the AP? Does your guy like the E? Does your blitz like the AP?
Right.
I would tend to say yes. Like your blitz has 0 AP, your cog has 0 AP, and your nocturne is already has a lot of AS. I feel like it's actually strictly better than Clockwork Accelerated because your Kog'Maw also already has a fuck ton of AS. This unit already has built like is already doubly scaling at the moment. He has innate scaling and he has rate scaling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, the other way that I evaluate um, item collector is um, by stats from previous set. Right, previous
Mm-hmm.
set item collector used to be like post like them nerfing it when it was super busted. It was like a 4-4, 4-5, and you just think of it as okay, what is the standard number of items you have for a game? Yeah, I would definitely roll deeper than 50 here, so I like this. And here you clearly have more items than the standard game. It's 7 items by 4-2 is a lot.
Okay. Would you have rolled deeper on 4-1 as well?
What was your streak situation on 4-1? Did you? I think you had lost.
Yeah, lost.
I don't think you have 6 nocturnes. I don't think so. I will say it doesn't seem like you are truly playing around your streak from stage 3 through stage 4. Like it doesn't look like maybe on 4-1 you determine not to roll because you're streaking and that would say is correct. But
What about here on
here
4-2?
I probably roll here. I probably roll to 40.
Okay.
Like you're at 64. I don't think it's necessarily wrong too because you're also ideally wanting gold on level 7 for your Ambessa.
Right. And Blitz 3.
But yeah, and it's 3 rolls. So you do kind of want to roll on 7, but it didn't seem like. I guess how much do you feel like your reroll rolls are factoring in your streak, like your 1 streak or 2 streak or stuff like that? 1 loss, 1 win.
Not really.
Yeah, so I would like try to internalize that a little more because it saves you a lot of golden HP to do that, right? Like allowing yourself to roll when you're on a one streak to roll to like 40, you get the gold back anyway. Like if you have two or three pairs, if that upgrade ends up being fight diff, which assuming you're sitting on three pairs, stage three, those are always like high odds of fight diff, right? Three one stars on your board means you can very easily lose. And conversely, like very few one stars on your board usually means you. And then you get the gold back from the two streak. You could potentially three streak, four streak, and then you start getting a fuck ton of gold, and you save HP. I just feel like playing around your streak with reroll comps and determining when using that as a factor to determine when to dig below 50, below 40, even sometimes is can be high EV.
Okay, and then inversely, to sometimes avoid rolling if I'm not on streak and I might lose interest as a result.
Oh well, you are on a streak. You're just on a loss streak, and not and losing. You don't even as long as like you're not super low in HP. You don't actually mind losing this. Like, you
Right.
go two loss, three loss, and you're just waiting to spike. Ideally, the way your real games go is like you're lose like assuming you lost stage two, you keep losing until you win, and then I send it, and you only send once you win, and then you convert your four loss from let's say you lose like 2-5, 2-6, 3-1, 3-2, boom. You win 3-3 because you rolled, you face the weak opponent. Then you send to like 30. And then you go win into like 4-5, right? Then you're like 5 win. And then let's say you're starting to fall off, you lose 4-6, 4-7, 5-1, and then you roll again. Boom. And then you roll to like 30 gold, and you win again 5-3, 5-4, 5. Like you want to sort of have that style of tempo ideally. Right? Assuming you're not digging to assuming your HP is not like dipping to way like scary levels, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
As opposed to like this game has been like very like win loss, and like your rolls are more so just around your 50 gold threshold is what it seems
Right.
like.
Yeah. Okay. I need to add that to my arsenal.
Triple Nocturne Edge with a triple knock. Um, I mean, you probably still level next turn, just play TF, and I wouldn't roll just because you're rolling for just Mbessa, and then your anomaly round is coming up. You are getting a little low, but not that low. So
With open tier, I want the spat for Automata cap. Otherwise, it's probably a cog. Or I already have 3 tank items and 3 knock items, right? So it should be just Kogma item. So like Archangel.
oh, isn't it Shiv? Isn't the best item your
Uh,
Shiv?
for
Assuming you're completing an item, it's either are arguing you're playing for a really high place and it's bad, or it's shit. I don't think it's ever working because you're a lot of your damage, as we said, like, a good amount of it is.
okay, it's all the Automata blasts is the magic damage value.
Yeah, I think we can convince ourselves of this. If you look at Explorer, I don't know if you've done this much, but I do this a good amount. If you go Explorer, um, for Automata, and then you go items, split by item holder. You uncheck split by item holder, and you look at how high Shiv is, and that's how you can tell like how useful Shiv truly is in this game.
Okay.
And I would be surprised if it was low. Yeah, it's as high as Last Whisper.
Yeah.
Spark and Shiv are very high, and conversely, you can look Archangel is probably like a lot lower than this. Obviously there's some survivorship bias there. You can argue that people that get the Shiv and Spark, already had the other items, which I don't. It's not always true, but I mean you could argue that. But yeah, when you have, especially if you're 4 automata, six automata, Shiv is very good.
Okay. Actually, Shojin would probably be better than Archangel. Yeah. Because you want to just cast more, not gain more AP for Agma.
Mm, is that true? Oh, given your automata,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess the deeper you are into automata, you could probably make an argument. Yeah, it just depends. If you're planning on 3-starring cog, then I think Archangel becomes better and better, but you're really far from it. And then I think Spat. I like Spat if you're higher HP, but at 45, it seems a little scary.
I see. Okay.
I could be wrong about that. I feel like a lot of I tend to play these a little safer. Like I feel like you're not even guaranteed to hit Malzar. You're not even guaranteed to hit the sword. You're not even guaranteed to survive long enough. So I would tend to not. But I feel like a lot of good players. I can imagine a lot of good players taking Spy. So I don't think that that is wrong. But I do feel like Archangel versus Shiv sounds more clearly incorrect.
Okay.
Is it really Dom here over second? Uh,
Oh, over just second blitz.
this
Yeah.
this would surprise me. This to me seems impossible. It didn't cost you either, but you're losing. So how much of a shield does Dom give you versus just like the full HP and resistance of the EHP of a second blitz? I feel like second blitz has to.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't. Seems hard to do the math.
Yeah, I would just imagine that cast bunch is not worth it. So how are you deciding here between a Nocturne anomaly and like a blitz anomaly?
Not really. I feel like the gold value is way more useful to hit both Blitz 3 and Bessa.
Yeah, that's probably true. I can see that. Just whichever one you find first, it looks okay.
Yeah, which this one seems decent.
Is it?
I have the DB, and I guess it would be better if I could swap out the QSS for like some other damage sword item later.
It's kind of far though. I feel like this to me this one is not in my opinion this is like far from good. What is this? How much is this giving you? Doesn't this give you almost nothing? Oh, I
So,
guess your base AD does it multiply your base AD? I'm actually not sure. I assume
uh,
it does. It's all sources.
I assume so. So it'd be giving me like 180, right?
65. Yeah, it should. Actually, yeah. If it multiplies your base AD, maybe I've been undervaluing this normally.
Because Deathblade is huge. I think Deathblade with RFC is like the best, like adjusted placement. And then if all that is giving you is AD, I assume this should be good.
Yeah. Let's see what it. Okay, if this is 300 AD after you click on this, then it's probably.
I don't know if I check though.
Oh.
Let's see if I check. No, I think I was just like, okay, what do I do next?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. To me that's such a big. I feel like I see people skip that more often than not. I could be wrong.
And I mess up the placement here.
Oh, it's the wrong side. I assume it shouldn't matter in this matchup that much. I could see rolling deeper there as well, just because you are gonna get so much gold anyway from like you need to find one Ambessa. It's close. I feel like rolling there is not too bad, like deeper because you hit Ambessa there, then might be fight diff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can roll a blitz as well. You're
Okay.
also still like 1-star TF, 1-star Cass. I mean, obviously, you're not trying to upgrade.
There's no way to play Rumble on this board, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just you're just looking for the fourth quick striker, and then after that, um, you just have to roll here super deep. Okay. Yeah, it's got to be that, and then Shiv, and then you're gonna IE the Nocturne, I guess, is your plan here.
Yeah.
I like it, except your item, the yeah, just lacking the APM. Fuck you here, but
Yeah.
I mean it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, this is notoriously one of the hardest turns. It's like 5-1. when you have to roll a lot. Also, it's QSS cog, right? Is strongest here by wide.
Oh,
Just because you want to stack 3 items. You have 3
yeah.
removers. You should just stack items. I don't know if it'll end up being fight diff here. It's not. But yeah, just remember like you just remember to count your removers before like splitting. Like whenever you split items, it should be a habit of do I really have to do this? Is like you never ever really want to split items. Even like for example, Sunfire on a Violet. Like I put Sunfire, I put Rage and Violet almost all the time. Stage 3. Because
Right.
multiplicative scaling is just so much better than splitting items. But like obviously if you're lacking removers, then that starts to change.
Okay, that makes sense.
You still haven't procced out.
Yeah, I haven't procced it yet. I was like, what's going on?
2 full stages later.
I feel like when I'm playing melee comps, I'm like cashing it out the same end of the same stage.
Yeah.
But I guess this is a ranged comp, not really a melee. Yeah, when that Nocturne gets to stay still, it's like so strong.
Yeah, you're just chilling in the back. Your items are also like really good now. You don't have shred.
Yeah, I don't have.
Is that on Mesa 2?
Yeah, that's an Ambessa too, but I don't. Yeah. So,
Mm,
What's my board again? Yeah, I feel like the extra stone plate's not that valuable, right?
yeah, I would just take Last Whisper.
Okay. Yeah.
Like unless like the whole lobby is holding Mbessa, it's gotta be it. Even Shroud is also not even that awful. Even Shroud than Mbessa. I think Last Whisper is better. She likes AS.
I finally cashed the thing out.
Finally got the goal. Yeah. I mean, now this augment is actually giving you. I feel like you're not that weak anymore. You kind of want the 5 atomic.
Yeah.
The 6 atomic. Oh, you're facing a victim. Nice. Mm. I mean, I would just. I feel like 20 HP. I would just make it, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, you never know. It could be diff, right?
That's
So
true.
many fights are so close. You're 20 HP. I feel like not making an upgrade is kind of insane. But
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Zig's not really your board ever, but you never know. Who cares what your board is? You're 20 HP.
That's true. Ideally, it's a what you call Mundo, right? Or yeah, I guess even better than that would be Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Now that it's Blitz 3, I was gonna say there's a chance Cog 2 is better, but I think Blitz 3, you don't mind sacking 1 unit to have Dominator. Mm.
So third cog item, Redemption would be really good, but there's no good holder.
Yeah,
Yes.
be like on a Momo. I would think it's close between Redemption and Death Cap, but
Or Hodge on Ambessa and move Last Whisper to cog.
I really don't like Last Whisper Cog because some of the power budget of Last Whisper is in the AD, and Cog is the lowest AD.
Right.
And you're also likely Cog item on the next Envoy.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
So like basically, what is the best combination of these 2 items? I feel like it's 1 Cog item and 1 like either what you're saying you move Last Whisper onto like TF, or TF also doesn't spread it that well because Mesa has AoE. So it's like either a TG. In my mind, it's actually Redemption because it's not that hard to find like third cog item here, right? Like
Yeah.
third cog item here is Gunblade, Death Cap, Archangel. Like JG's kind of trash, but like it's still a cog item. Whereas like it's not that easy to find a useful utility item. Right? You already found it here with Redemption.
And redemption would go on Blitz or on like the Mumu.
I just put it on the Amumu, and then you just put him like 2x's back, and then if the redemption procs like twice, that's already like pretty good value. More
Okay.
value than I think of it this way: it's more value than anything else you can get here.
Yeah.
Than anything else you can get with the next amulet, assuming you find a cog item here. So I like that you got it.
And then Shojin on Cog. Just
I'm
lets
actually
him.
not sure what's best here. I imagine it's Death Cap, but like it's either Gunblade or Death Cap. With help as well,
Oh,
probably.
Gunblade. Yeah.
I don't think it's Shojin because Shojin gives you more AS. You already have AS.
I mean, certainly Gunblade, right? Like that's basically this. Like have the Blitzcrank go infinite with the assuming I hit Kog'Maw 3.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
then
true.
this
You're Magma 3. Yeah, actually, it's probably Gunblade.
and I have like the scaling clockwork attack speed
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see Gunblade. I think I just tunneled too hard on Shojin for the automata blast.
Gotcha. Yeah, you already have so much AS. Yeah. Oh, and you move the Vow off. I just feel like the combination of Redemption and someone else and Vow on Blitz is just better than this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's Vow's percent HP shield, right?
I think I was just like wondering if the Mumu would die too fast, but like you said, if it could just survive one or two.
Yeah, and it's already like fairly useful in that sense. You probably are trying to 9 just to find Malzahar, right?
Yeah, but Kog'Maw 3 would be really nice too.
Yeah, I feel like it's. Mm, yeah, I would still try to go 9 and just find Hog 3 on 9, but yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
And then now that I'm losing this battle,
Yeah, now it makes it. I mean, I guess you're already 4th. Yeah, it depends on what you're fighting, I guess.
I basically have to go for Kog'Maw 3 at this point, right? Like can't 62 to level. Yeah, I don't have any gold to like add anything. I guess it's like having a Mumu extra Mumu too.
Uh, I feel like you win. I assume you lose, but like maybe you fight someone that I don't know who's in your pool, but
Oh, okay,
I
I should be scouting first this guy then.
I would still look. I would check first, but like, is this guy pissed weak or what? I mean, I assume you lose, but still worth looking at. I think.
Okay.
I guess you do lose some time. Is the one thing by looking, which you need to roll. I mean, yeah, you probably lose to this guy. You probably lose regardless.
Yeah.
I think with Six Automata and Cog 3, you can probably win. Maybe.
Is there any better positioning, like cheese way to win this fight? Or it's just doomed. Right, just doomed.
I am pretty sure. This guy's frontline looks insane, man. 4-star Aurelia, 2-star Rumble, triple item, 2-star Malawi, 2-star Jace. There's no hope here.
I guess I am
Yeah,
on I am on right side to at least take out the Aurelia. Like this side is better than the other side. Like getting stuck on the
yeah,
lobby.
it's a fucking scaling Aurelia.
Yeah. Okay.
Double scaling Aurelia. What is this?
I
I'm
took
pretty
it
sure
out
this is
pretty
like,
fast. But yeah,
yeah,
he's too much.
there's just so much going on in this guy's career.
It's
Actually, it's a
actually
lot closer.
close, yeah.
It's way closer than I ever would have thought. He is sitting 50 gold.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, if I had the redemption on another unit, maybe that would have been fight diff. Like the Vow. Actually probably would have been.
I could see it. But yeah, I think the two main diffs I would say here are.
I wonder if this
Yeah.
was also a Ziggs 2 diff.
Oh, it could be. It could be. Actually, you have it right there. Good shot. You had another chance to make it. My two main takeaways I would say here are the QSS made you a lot weaker stage 3. Like just to give you, I think you did it as well in the ASA game. Like you need to like introspect as to why you're so dead set on slamming items stage 2. I think like it may be just like a bad habit of something you got into when trying to improve the game from like a newer level
Yeah.
because
I
it is
greeted
very
all
much
the
in
time in
stealth.
the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very much instilled in players as they're getting like from whatever, let's say like platinum to diamond, diamond to master. Like you should, like slamming items is good, and yes, it is good at that level, but there's a lot more nuance around slamming items depending on the comp you're playing. What truly like helped me get over that is watching really good players not slam items in spots where I would have. I think Bishop is the one that really helped me internalize that when I was watching him a lot and realizing, okay, like yeah, slamming items is good for getting out of shit low, but eventually there's a lot of nuance. And seeing this guy like greed a fuck ton of components and realizing that that is not. There's a time and place for both lines, right? For the greeting components and for not. It's not truly a noob thing to not slam items. Like you might feel that way. Maybe you have other people watching that are not very good at like you're doing the gold elo thing of greeting all your components. But in reality, there's a time and place for both. And here, I don't think there was ever. It is really the time to slam QSS on 2-5 or slam anything. If anything, it is Runettes.
Right. Yeah.
And then that's the one, and the other is just like your roll, trying to match your roll tempo to your streak tempo in both directions, whether it's win streaking or lose streaking.
So
obviously,
here,
with HP being another factor.
right. So here, are you saying on a 4 loss, I should not have been rolling as aggressively? Because usually when I think about 2-cost reroll, I want to be strong in stage 3.
Yeah, so here what I would say, which I actually mentioned while we were watching this game, I said as soon as I hit this, I said, okay, I'm down to just sit here. Basically, all you want is just to not take big losses. Like for me, there's at 81 HP. If you were 60, then it would be a little different. But at 81 HP, win loss, like it doesn't even really matter if you win or lose. I feel like it's not that big a deal at 81 HP because you're playing a strong comp, like in that you have RFC, right? Like I think if you're playing this comp out of nowhere with no good reason to play it, then I'm more down to start digging because you already know your cap is so bad. Right? If you're just playing like Nocturne, no RFC for whatever reason, but you're playing this comp from a good spot, which means your cap is high, which means greeting gold is not even is potentially a good thing for your overall placement, such that I think what I said here was like, oh, you hit the Nocturne. This is already good enough to guarantee you're not getting like 25 owed. You're not getting 6 owed, so just sit, which is what you did. I think this is correct here. And then I'm just waiting, biding my time until I win. Yeah, if I lose 3-3, whatever, I won't roll again. I'll just roll 50. If I win 3-3, which is what happened here, then this is when I said I would dig for 3-5. I think I forget. Oh, you won 3-2, and then now I'm digging for you.
So here you're digging. You stop after you hit like one more 2-star, probably, or are you digging for 2?
I would look at my pool. I would probably dig if I'm an upgrade, and then look at my pool and be like, okay, is this next upgrade actually going to change much? And then, and it's not that hard to look at your pool on stage 3 because some of these fights, like anyone who's going past 8, you're gonna beat. It's just so obvious, unless they super high roll, right? So you're really only having to scout this Aurelia 3 guy. I see him right now. It's Joey. And then you're gonna decide, okay, I hit Akali 2. Is that enough to beat this guy? And then and then you can also decide, is it even worth trying to beat this guy? If his board is so far ahead, this guy's board is so far ahead, I'll roll like once to 50 here, and then probably not. Like here, I think I would decide not to roll. Right? Because this guy's board, he's violent 3. It's like whatever, man. I'll sack my streak. And so you did it. So maybe your decision to not roll here was based on that, and if so, then I think that's correct.
No, I think my decision to scout there was purely for positioning, not on roll decision.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I need to add that where I am scouting for deciding whether to roll or not. That has never been part of my algorithm, so I need to add that.
To be fair, it's not been something ingrained in me for a super long time. It probably was truly ingrained in me watching. I actually think this unironically is watching Soju. Unironically, this guy talks about this a lot. He talks about his when rerolling on stage 3, matching his rolling to his streak, and it just makes sense. And Setsuko does this very well as well. Setsuko plays a good amount of reroll when he's playing the right line, and he will very often line up his rolling to his streaks. I think it was only really last set that I truly internalized it. When playing a lot of Kassadin, because I used to default to just, it's 3-2, it's time to send it. No matter what, I'm playing a 2-cost comp, but the thing is, like, when your cap is high, you don't do that. When your cap is high, you want to like just be as efficient as possible with your gold, because you don't really care to spike. You care for like your highest cap, and you should line. And to do that, you just want to be efficient with your rolls by lining up with your streak.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So then after I assume I lost that one, then I'm just slow rolling here. And then if I start another streak, then I can like roll more aggressively again.
I think so. It starts to become a little less important on 3-5 because so the streaks for 2 cost comp and 1 cost comp are a lot more important to play around 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. Because right now, usually the longest your streak is until 4-1 or 4-2. With high odds, by 4-2 your streak disappears because you're fighting anyone that. As soon as one person you fight has a 2-star 4 cost and you haven't hit your Nocturne 3, then like whatever, your streak's gone.
Right.
The only chance that you have to save your streak is if you get close to Nocturne in 3, and if you had played this spot right. Let's say you dug on 3-3, you hit your 3-star, or you hit your 4 win, or you won 3-2, 3-3, 3-5, 3-6, and then you roll on 4-1 and you find 6 Nocturnes. You could try to send 0 even, right? You hit your Nocturne 3 there, you 100 streak the entire, or you streak the entire stage 4 potentially. Like it opens up some opportunities to do stuff like that because you streaked through stage 3. But assuming you don't have that high roll Nocturne spot on 4-1, then your streak kind of disappears because you're fighting people that are ahead of tempo relative to you.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, this is a huge unlock. Appreciate it.
Oh, guaranteed plus 500 LP. I got you.
Actually, I think Asa was saying the exact same thing in stage 2. Not so it was a more smaller point because I had epic, and so he was making the point that I shouldn't be rolling on a 1 loss in stage 2. But I think I'm internalizing it more now since I'm hearing it from both of you.
Oh yeah, I saw that exact thing, and I thought the exact same thing. Like, you already lost 2-1. Like, why are we like? Maybe if you had like a million pairs and you had like really good items, such that you're arguing you go on a 4 win, starting 2-2, even after losing 2-1, then I could maybe see it. But I feel like just you already lost 2-1, whatever, man. Like you sit on 3 pairs, you sit on 3 pairs. It doesn't even matter. It's 2-2. You already lost. Like play around your gold more than your. Um, I mean, if it's not Kane Galaxy, right, from the previous set where you need every bit of HP, which you don't on 2-2, then just play to your streak, make as much gold as possible.
Okay, cool. Anything else jump out to you about this game?
Uh, what else was there? Augments, the item collector versus AS. Just try to internalize more so again, like the whole like if you already have a lot of AS, like maybe go for less of that. Like I think a lot of the decisions there seem to like I'm sure you know that in theory already, but like even like the item for Cog here, the Shojin, uh, because you're playing for Cog 3, like the base stats on this guy will matter. It's just that the Gunblade and something like that cap could matter a lot. You already have so much AS, which is basically what Shojin represents. It's just more AS. So I feel like, and the same thing with Clockwork Accelerator versus Item Collector. Like you already have a lot of AS, like, and yeah, I think, and Item Collector scales as well, right? Into late game, you have so many items, you get so many items from Portal. So I just in my mind, it's so good in this Portal.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, actually, Gunblade would have been fight diff in that final loss.
I could see it. I could see it for sure.
Yeah.
What did you have instead again? You had. Oh, you had Shojin. Yeah. I think I'm with you. He's also a fuck ton of EHP because your board has so much resistance.
Yeah. I mean, Gunblade. For sure. If I mean, Jace was 1 shot from dying. Like one more Automata blast, he's dead. So
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it being Gunblade there, essentially.